Hello there everyone, my name is Jason Raposa and I am the Business Development Manager with Anderson Bluebird Bus Sales. We are happy to be here today to assist with a brief product demonstration and operational demonstration for the features of your new 2019 Microbird MFSAB, or Multifunction School Activity Bus. Before we get started, I just want to make a few statements about the purpose of this video. And we are here to explain the basic operational features for the drivers, interior switches and controls. We encourage all viewers of this video to seek from your local administration the proper qualifications and training to drive the vehicle. And they will go over that with you in more detail. So specifically what we're going to do today is talk about some of the interior controls and some of the other operational items that'll make your operation and your traveling a lot easier and worry-free. And so without further ado, we will first take a look at operating the controls to inspect under the hood and where you can check your vital fluids. So just like most vehicles today, you have a parking brake release switch, and over here we have a hood release switch. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this hood release switch. Very like your own personal vehicle, private transportation vehicle. We come around to the front, and there is a release mechanism that you'll see here. And there is also a hood prop over to the right, and you will safely latch your hood. So there's not a lot of room you'll see in the engine compartment, but just to point out some of the key things you'd want to check. Here is your oil and your transmission fluid dipsticks here and here. Your oil fill is here. Also on the right side you have your washer fluid fill. So those are the three key components that you'd want to check routinely. All other mechanical items you'd want to leave to your service provider to check those things. And so that's pretty simple, but that's basically really what you would need to check. So just do the reverse process to close the hood. You want to securely latch the prop and drop your hood into place. So what we'll do now is we'll take a quick little walk around all sides of the vehicle and just point out that you want to be cognizant and mindful of the height of your vehicle. Okay, and that'll be something that your administrators will go over with you in more detail. You'll notice we've got the height of 11 feet, which gives you ample room for clearance as long as you're mindful of that. Okay, and we'll come around just to get a quick general overview of the exterior of the vehicle, what you can expect in terms of length and width. Okay, exit door in the rear, which we'll go over in more detail once we get inside, and you know, your standard package of turn, backup, brake signals and whatnot. Okay, so next we're going to come inside the vehicle and we will go over some of the controls on the inside for the driver in more detail. Okay folks, so we're back here in the driver's seat and we're going to go over a few of the driver controls. We would also encourage anyone to look at your driver's manual that came with the vehicle for in-depth coverage of all of the features and the controls in the driver information center that comes standard with the Chevrolet chassis, but that's included in your driver's manual. So what we'll do is we'll start here. As we said earlier, there is a parking brake release which is activated by your foot, and that goes all the way to the floor, and then the release mechanism here comes right back. And we'll of course engage that again since we are parked. You have your headlight control, which is right here, and you'll see there is off, there is auto and parking, and then full on all the time. Generally, if you just leave it on the auto setting, you will never have to worry for that. Here is the dimmer control for the dash illumination, for all the gauges on the dash. Coming up a little higher, here is all the buttons and controls for your driver information center, and there's a lot of detail on this in your driver's manual. These are things where you can set the reset the trip odometer, look at your oil life, the amount of life left in the oil in the engine, as well as set the units for measurement between English and metric. So we would encourage you to review that in more detail in your driver's handbook. On this stock, you have the standard washer, wiper, washer, fluid, and directional up and down, as well as the high beam activation. On top of the steering column, you have your hazard button, hazard control there, which is just a simple up and down push. Nice feature on this vehicle, you've got your tilt steering wheel to add a little more versatility for driver comfort. Of course, on this stock, you have your gear shift lever. Okay, so here we are now at the right side of the driver. We have our controls for the interior air handling system for the heat and the air conditioning and the ventilation systems. You also have your radio controls here. Again, more of this radio features are included in your driver manual, and we would encourage you to review that as well. Starting down here at the bottom of the driver control, you have your rear air conditioning switch, which is a simple rotary dial between off, low, medium, and high. Okay. You also have on top of the console, you have got your switches for your entrance door, which is a toggle switch, so you have to hold it in place to activate, open and close. These are your dome lights for the interior dome lights in the rear of the bus. This switch here is for your under seat heaters in the rear of the bus, and notice that neutral or middle is off. Down is low, up is high, and middle neutral is off. These are your mirror defrosted mirrors, and those are on a timer, so you just push that once and it will activate the heaters for a period of 15-minute cycle, and then it will go off. This little warning light here indicates when the rear door, the rear emergency door, is locked with its vandal lock feature, and we'll go over that in more detail. So that's what that does. Moving up slightly here, of course, you have your cup holder here. You have a couple of 12-volt outlets for your cell phone chargers or your navigation system chargers. You also have here a traction control button or non-skid button, which you can engage or disengage. Again, there's more information about that in your owner's manual. Should you need to get out of a situation where you're stuck and your rear wheels are spinning, that will help you, but more information on that in your driver's manual. This fan switch does not have any function at all. That is just an auxiliary extra switch left over from the Chevrolet chassis package. And here you have a standard plug, okay, for 120 volt AC. And this is good for charging a small computer or a small electronic device as well. We would not recommend hooking up any type of electrical device that's going to draw a lot of current. So anything that you could hook up to your 12-volt system in the cigarette lighter, you would hook up here as well. Okay, again, moving up to your radio, more controls and more features about that in your handbook. Here is your dash fan. You have your temperature control, just like a normal passenger vehicle you'd have. Also, you've got your off and on AC, heat, defrost, and ventilation for all of the dash air handling systems, okay? And just moving up over to my left here, we're going to talk a little bit about your remote mirror system. So these control the exterior mirrors, as we can see here to my left, and over to the right, your exterior mirror package. So the left button controls the left mirror, the right button controls the right mirror, okay? And neutral again is in the middle, and the left will toggle the bottom mirror and the right will toggle the top for each one. And what we'll do is give a quick little demonstration on that. We'll start up the vehicle and we can show you that. So again, standard key in the ignition and start it. And again, to the left, you'll see the top mirror. If I could get my arm there. Yep, the top mirror rotates, neutral, nothing, and then the bottom mirror, spotting mirror, will rotate with that switch. And again, the same applies for the right side mirrors as well. So you have also up top here the rear view mirror, which is adjustable so that you can, manage the passengers in the back and see what's going on there. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the entrance door function. Again, we can see here that this door functions with the button, opens and closes the door. You have to hold it in place. There's also an emergency release. Here's your first edit point. Ready?
I am ready to go ahead.
Okay, so there's also an emergency release feature for the entrance door. So you just toggle this switch, which is obviously designed not to be easily functioned, but it will release the door so that you can push the door open if it's closed. So again, we'll set this back in the locked position, and then we'll close the door. In the event of an emergency, you would disengage, and then you can push the door. And to reset, just push that back. Might have to move the door panel a little bit, and the entrance door will function again. Okay? So that's that operation there. We can finish up inside. You've got your, with the safety equipment, you've got your fire extinguisher. You've got your wheel chalk blocks. These are road flares contained in the case here. And you also have a first aid kit. You've got your body fluid kit there as well. And lastly, above the driver's seat, you have a compartment with a little latch here that will hold that open. And inside is compartment containing your relays and your fuses here. And I like to point this out because this really is not meant for storage. It really kind of contains some important electrical items and some warning alarms for the exit, the emergency exit. So we don't want anybody keeping anything up here for storage. I just point that out in case your maintenance provider needs to get in to see or replace any fuses. And this just closes down with a latch. Okay, so here we are with a view of the rear of the bus, the passenger compartment, and operation of the side windows couldn't be more simpler. Just pinch like a standard school bus window, pinch the side release, and the windows will go up and down with a little bit of effort, but that's how those operate for you. And we'll also do a quick demonstration here of the emergency exit. And anytime that any of the emergency exits are activated while the bus is running, you're going to hear an alarm. And we're going to demonstrate that for you right now. So lift up the lever and push out to activate the emergency egress. And again, close the window and lower the latch, and everything is back to normal. And the emergency windows do function just like the regular windows, up and down. Also, the roof hatch is a feature that's able to vent either from the front. You can pull this down. It requires just a little bit of effort, just like the emergency door. Or you can vent it from the back. Now, emergency exit is able to be activated by just turning this knob to the exit position and pushing out. Okay, and when that is done, you will also hear the alarm to let you know that the exit has been activated. Coming back to the rear of the bus, you see that you've got two storage spots for any type of sporting equipment. Also overhead, you can see that we've got some racking for small parcels or book bags and the like, duffel bags. Here also, we mentioned this a little bit earlier, you've got your rear exit door equipped with a Vandalock system. And this is an important feature that we're going to emphasize because some of you may experience a situation where the vehicle will not start. So this is just a standard type of a bolt lock, and anytime it is engaged while the vehicle is running, you will hear an alarm, just like the emergency exits. So that will signify to the driver that the rear door is engaged, and it should not be engaged while the vehicle is running. So then we release that, lock it in place, and to open the rear exit door, very simply, just like a school bus, it opens, and there is a retainer to keep it in the open position up top. To disengage, you push and then return to close, and then activate the lever and latch, and there you go. And we would encourage folks to not use these secure rods as handles. It's very tempting to use these when you're getting in and out. But remember, this is an emergency exit and it's designed to be used in emergency situations. Some districts use the rear door for loading and unloading of equipment, and you just need to be careful that you do not bend these rods as you're getting in and out of the vehicle. And that pretty much is all that we've got today to go over. I appreciate your time and your attention to the video. And again, we would encourage all operators to seek direction and from your administrators or your department heads with respect to getting qualified or making sure that you're comfortable to drive this vehicle in all situations. And thank you, and have a great day.